Hey everyone, it's Jack and Sam from Cultaholic.com. This is definitely not the second take of our intro because I burped during the first one.
Stomping Grounds!
Yes, we're mere minutes away from Stomping Grounds. But before that, we do have some news to report on. There's some WWE news, there's some All Elite news. Ooh. It's all going to be fantastic. Let's take a look at the headline. First of all, Vince McMahon has apparently enforced a change to Raw and SmackDown on a weekly basis. Secondly, an unannounced All Elite wrestling match for Fighter Fest may have been accidentally revealed by ITV's Twitter account. And finally, according to the results of a WWE poll, R-Truth is the most popular champion on the roster. So, first and foremost, let's go to Wrestling Observer Radio, where over this weekend it was reported that Vince McMahon apparently held a meeting last week at WWE TV and basically told everybody, because obviously we have commercial breaks during matches often, quite a lot of the time, told everyone that now there's not going to be any wrestling during those breaks, despite there being matches on. So they have to find a way to kind of stop the wrestling in the middle of the match during commercial breaks. There's two ways they seem to have done this so far. One way is the classic house show thing where the heel's on top and then gets on the mic and cuts a promo. Or
starts getting like powder and stuff. Yeah.
Or I think I saw Owens and Zayn threaten to leave the match and walk out, and they just milked that for about 5 minutes. Or the other way they seem to do it is by introducing, this is why there were 2 out of 3 falls matches this week on Raw and SmackDown. And that means that once the first fall is ended, then the commercial break is like a break. It's like a natural break in the match before the next fall, which kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it does seem very contrived.
It's one of those things that's very difficult. Like in a prior life, obviously, I was involved with production at a wrestling company, and we met somebody who was involved with Ring of Honor's production, and I remember talking to him about my formats. And sort of when you have a wrestling show, you have to have formats. So commentary, production, everything's numbered. So you know, like if you're running under time, it's all you cut that segment, you'll just strike number 23, and so everybody can just go and draw a line through it. And he would go like, "Oh, so do you run matches with commercials?" And we're like, no, because then he was like, it's so much harder to do that because you have to work out what you're going to do. You can't do the same thing. You've got maybe 3 commercials per show. I can't get my head around why we're still going to commercials during matches. Now, there's so much promo time you could be doing it for.
Well, apparently the reason for this is because this was reported by John Pollock of Post Wrestling. He's added this little bit. Apparently he heard that it was because in legitimate sports, there's no action during the commercial breaks. But instead of then kind of shifting the show so that the commercial breaks take place in between matches, he's kind of kept them in the middle of matches, but gone, there can't be any wrestling during this time.
Yeah.
I get it in theory because, you know, it kind of just gives away that it's not real because the match isn't going to end during the commercial break, and it does. But at the same time, I think the wider issue is having commercial breaks during the middle of matches. Also, the Wrestling Inc. report of this story added like a little opinion sentence at the end which said, this will likely make the product harder to watch for fans on TV and in the arena specifically. It will break up the flow if you're watching it there live.
The arena, I mean, like seeing Raw for the first time live, I remember it was very odd because when it went to commercial, you were very aware.
Oh, it was the one I remember is when Enzo and Cass debuted. We were there at the Raw After Mania, and the Dudleys were just killing time for no reason, and we were like, this must be a commercial.
But I mean, it's like when somebody makes an entrance before a commercial, so somebody will come down, their music's blaring, they're getting like all the hype from the crowd, everything's going wild, and then it just stops. Lights stop, it goes back to house lights, a commercial comes on the TV, and then about 15 seconds beforehand, like they're getting alerted, and then 5 seconds before their music starts, lights go again, and they're back up on the ropes doing it all. But they just sort of stand there like this, going.
Yeah. Well, we'll see going forward how they keep coming up with ways to do this, because they can't just have 2 out of 3 falls matches all the time.
But I think the way to do it is to just go like match promo, but it'd go like match promo advert, match promo advert, match promo advert, like.
Strange. Next up, let's talk about Fighter Fest, which is next weekend. Myself and Ben from Triple Jump will be doing a live stream of that.
I'm at a wedding.
Everyone's away that weekend. But don't worry, because Ben knows his wrestling and he is a charming and funny presenter. I'm just plugging Ben. But the news is that Ben's a charming and funny presenter. But also, nearly as importantly, there may have been an unannounced match for the pre-show spoiled by ITV's Twitter account because they tweet out like a preview saying, look at this great card, watch Fighter Fest and stuff, ITV box office and all that kind of thing, like a standard promotional tweet with various images of different match cards.
Same thing they do for the boxing, same thing they do for any event they were running,
But they've included, and it's one of the little pictures at the bottom of the card, a match that hasn't yet been announced, and it is on it's got on the graphic, it's got pre-show and it's Smiley Kylie Ray
Yeah, versus Michael Nakazawa?
No, he's wrestling the organizer of the game. He is on the pre-show. Yeah. No, it's Kylie Ray versus Blue Pants, Leva Bates, the librarian. Which is pretty good. Which is pretty good matchup, but we don't actually know if it's real or not. It seems like it's definitely planned.
ITV have tweeted it. It's got to be sort of real. They're going to have the graphic for it.
They did have the graphic. Yeah, they had the graphic for it.
I guess they've just leaked it.
I wonder if this will cause them to change it, or whether they'll just keep it the same.
They'll just roll with it. It'll just be like one of those ITV situations.
I'm still looking forward to it though. I think it's going to be good.
I'm gutted. I've got to go to Yorkshire. I've got to go to a mate's wedding where I can't watch wrestling because I'll get ripped on because all of his brothers are like proper manly men. And so maybe if I get back to the hotel early enough, I'll do it. But I'm going to have to watch it on delay on the train back.
That's all right. That'll be fun. There's some good matchups, and yes, we will be doing a lovely live stream. Next up, WWE ran a poll recently, and I actually have to credit Wrestling Inc. for this because I didn't see the poll at all or know about it, but Wrestling Inc. reported on it, and the poll was asking fans who is their favourite current champion on the main roster, and as of this article going up, 27% of the votes were for 24/7 champion R-Truth, who obviously won the title back at Drake Maverick's wedding.
Oh,
it was so good.
It was so good. 2.7 million views in 24 hours.
Really?
Or 2 days.
I think just goes to show like how creative wrestlers can be, even those on the undercard when they're given a chance to just be creative and be themselves.
R-Truth has been flawless in every
Drake Maverick
era
as
he's
well.
been a part of.
R-Truth definitely.
But yeah, Drake Maverick's been he's been such an ardent supporter of this 24/7 thing.
It's so good. There's so many little things in the video. There's just like EC3 being the best man, and you might well actually be the best man. I don't know. Max or Hardy. I'll just run down the rest of the results in order, I guess. 23% for Universal Champion Seth Rollins, 15% for Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, 13% for Kofi Kingston, the WWE Champ, 8%, we're getting right, 8% for IC Champion Finn Balor, who I don't even think is announced on tonight's card. 4% for US Champion Samoa Joe, that's heartbreaking. I wanted Samoa Joe to be higher.
Joe deserves to be higher than US, he should be IC.
4% or WWE champion, as Jericho recently said.
You
see Jericho
WWE
talk
champion.
about that a few days ago.
The thing is, I think it should be sort of a New Japan-y system where you have to win the IC to win the big one.
Jericho came out recently, sorry to just interrupt this news with a different one, but Jericho a couple of days ago was speaking out about why WWE's kind of floundering a little bit at the moment, in the opinion of many. And he said, basically, look at the Stomping Ground card. Baron Corbin, lovely guy. Switch him and Samoa Joe around because you've got Samoa Joe on the undercard and he's amazing.
He was like, it's nothing against Corbin. He's a good guy, great worker, does everything that's asked for him. It's just not his time.
Yeah,
and I was like, absolutely correct.
3% for women's champion, SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. 4% for Bayley. 3% for the Iconics.
I love the Iconics.
And 1% each for, unfortunately, your boy Tony Nese, and both the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Revival, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
I'm hoping that Mr. Gulak is going to take the old belt tonight because his new darker persona is amazing, and he'll be able to get eyes that Tony Nese couldn't, I think, with the sort of character work.
I think the biggest takeaway that I've just had from reading out those results there is, apart from R-Truth winning, is the state of the tag team divisions. For both sets of tag champs to be bottom of this poll is really shocking.
I tweeted about this earlier. I think I saw this picture where there were so many belts, and it was all the belts, and it's for the first time I've seen all of the main roster belts on one picture together.
Yeah.
And it was like there are so many. I think that if you just had, because you can't have one top guy, one top girl.
Yeah.
When you've got equal champions, you need to either split the brands completely, or you need a men's championship, a women's championship, a tag championship, a women's tag championship,
and then a mid-card one. And 24/7.
And 24/7.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's been absolutely good. That's the only one that should stay.
Let's have 24/7 tag champs as well.
It feels like there's just this disconnect, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But yeah, interesting poll results, and well done R-Truth and the bloody lads in the 24/7 division.
It's so good.
It's so good. And finally, an update on Lars Sullivan's injury. Of course, it was recently reported midweek that he underwent successful knee surgery and will be out of action for about 6 to 9 months. Apparently, he would be... Now, the news update now from Wrestling Observer Radio is that apparently he'd been working injured leading up to this.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those situations where maybe if a precaution had been taken earlier, you could argue that it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Although it has been described as a bit of a fluke or a freak accident, which is ironic because of freak accident. This means that he could be out until maybe this December, or even they could push it back to WrestleMania sort of time if they wanted to bring him back at a big time. The injury was aggravated in the match against the Lucha House Party, the match, not the one in Saudi Arabia, the one on the Raw after, the one that everyone said, well, why didn't that happen in Saudi Arabia when he destroyed them? Apparently, it got aggravated then. And the decision was made, let's just have surgery now.
It's one of those unfortunate realities of wrestling. It's like people don't want to admit that Bruce Pritchard talks about it all the time on his podcast. People don't want to admit that they're working hurt because they feel that if
they don't want their spot to be taken.
Yeah, if management knows they're hurt, then you're going to have all your opportunities taken off you. And it's just because management want you to get better, but you don't want to be forced to go sit at home for 6 to 8 months.
Becky Lynch also talked about it on a 24 documentary where she was gutted after the whole Survivor Series match got called off, and everyone was thinking, why? You've had this great iconic moment with the blood, you're going to come back strong, it'll probably lead to a WrestleMania match. And she was like, there's no guarantee of that. There's just no guarantee that I'll come back and it'll be the same.
It could be a completely different landscape. Yeah. The only thing I think that I spoke about this with Adam when we first reported about Lars's injury, when it was sort of ambiguous, was that I think the good thing is, obviously, like, Lars doesn't have a major storyline ongoing. He's not a belt holder, he's not in a major storyline, he's a monster, yes, obviously, but like, you can take him away right now, and then you can bring him back, and nothing will have really changed.
Yeah, like a reboot.
You can reboot him basically. And I think maybe as well the time off might do him good because of all of the sort of controversy that's happened. So
we'll see how it goes. And also, let's not forget as well that we are doing our reactions tonight, but they're not a live stream. They will be going out on Tuesday, I believe.
Recordies.
Of course, but we will be doing What Happened At. That'll go out tonight. WTF Moments and Graded will go out tomorrow.
Yes,
all the coverage
I'm
you need.
On Graded.
Yes, and WWE are doing a bloody Watch Along again.
They are. They're doing Watch Along.
But don't worry, because we've got our own secret weapon
to
combat that.
Who's going to say the F word this time?
We've got our own secret weapon to combat that competition, and his name is bloody Pachi's boy, Tom Campbell.
Tiny Ham. Tom.
He's sent him in his place. Thinks he's going to beat me and Ross, seasoned veterans of the predictions game.
He called the Biggin and Wigan. He knows his stuff.
He does know his stuff. Hope you enjoy it and enjoy Stomping Grounds tonight as well. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter at Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.